Keshav Bhajanka, ED at Century Plyboards, joins us on the show right now to talk about how their quarterly performance has been. Keshav, hi, morning. Good to chat with you as always. Your revenues are up by nearly about 10%. Tell us what were the main contributors and do you expect this kind of momentum to stay put?
Good morning. Thank you for having me on the show. Yes, I think that on the revenue front, we have strong momentum with us. Our Plywood division and our MDF divisions have done really well. And I think with the commissioning of our new capacity for MDF and with the implementation of a number of initiatives that we have done in Plywood over the course of the past year, we shall have strong growth in both for the coming quarter and the coming year as well. Laminate and particle board divisions have seen flattish revenue. And for laminate, we expect that to continue for the first quarter, post which we shall have a strong growth for the rest of the year. Particle board, I think, till the new capacity comes into play, which will most likely be Q4 of this year, where we get the benefit next year, we shall see a flattish revenue.
Right, Keshav. What we also want to understand is while yes, revenue has managed to see a growth, the profits of the company have seen a bit of a decline. Any specific reason? Was this a one-off situation for the profits?
I think if you look at the plywood division per se, the profitability has been quite good. It has been 15% plus. There was a one-time impairment loss that has led to a drag on profitability. But like you rightly stated, that is a one-off exception. However, for MDF and particle board, there could be some pressure on profitability due to the fact that timber prices have really elevated and due to constraint on imports, or rather excess inflow of imports, we are unable to pass on a price increase to the market. So I think for MDF and particle board, profitability this year looks to be a challenge. I think our EBITDA guidance would be close to 15%. Otherwise, plywood, laminates, I don't think profitability will be such a challenge going forward.
About the steps that the company is taking for Cyclone Remal, because earlier you had to close plants when the cyclone came into eastern India. So this time, what is the impact on your operations, on your financials?
I think, I'm speaking to you from office right now. So the impact of this cyclone is nothing in comparison to what we saw in Amphan. So I think perhaps 1 day shutdown of the plant, we don't see too much damage as compared to last time. Amphan was far more severe. So I think in the case of Amphan, there were damages that were caused, and there were certain circumstances that aggravated the situation. It was in the middle of COVID. So, all the precautions, etc. It was very difficult to take the same. This time, I think we're in a far better position, and this is not likely to be as impactful as it was last time around.
Okay, good to know. And what about, the outlook when it comes to the operations that you had commenced at the new Greenfield Laminate and the MDF units in Andhra Pradesh? Can you share details in terms of the operational status and how much it's contributing to your overall revenue pie?
Sure. So for current year, we're looking at a very strong growth in MDF. We're looking at close to a 40% growth. So I think, Andhra, the new Greenfield unit, is going to be a substantial part of that growth. And we have been able to ramp up capacity very quickly. For the laminate unit, yes, we are taking some slight time to stabilize production. But I think from the end of this quarter, the start of next quarter onwards, that is going to be a big growth driver for us in the laminate segment as well.
Right. Keshav, overall, when we just look at the sales growth over the last few years in terms of the rate of growth that we're seeing, that's seen a reduction, right? Because last year ended FY23, it was around a 20-21% growth. This time it's 6%. What is the rate that one could expect Century growing at in the next couple of years, FY25, FY26?
For the current year, I think, if you break it into segments, plywood, we are likely to see double-digit growth. MDF, like I said, we are likely to see a 40% plus growth on the basis of the new capacity that has been commissioned. Particle board will be flattish, and laminates, we're looking at a 20% plus growth. So overall blended growth should be closer to the 20% that you saw earlier. Yes, last year was a challenging year, but I think, the difficult part of it is behind us. As you know, new launches have started, people have started taking possession of homes, and the current year, the demand for wood panel products, we are quite upbeat that it's going to be strong. And with the new capacities we have implemented, I think, yes, 20% growth should be a possibility.
20% growth is possible, that's the top line, but margins also, will we see the margins then move towards those 16-18% that we had seen in the past?
For the current year, I don't think that is going to be realistic. I think for plywood, we are going to maintain our margin guidance that was there earlier of 13 to 15%. For laminates, the margin guidance will be slightly tempered. It depends on the utilization of the new capacity. For MDF and particle board, I think we'd be targeting EBITDA margins of 15%, which is considerably lower. This is due to the elevated impact of timber and the competitive scenario in the market, as I've already said. But I think this is more of a one-year exception. From next year onwards, you will see stability and these margins moving back to the 20-25% that was there earlier.
Thanks so much, Keshav, for joining in. Good to have you on ET Now, sharing with us your
Thank
insights and financial projections.
If you like this video, then like, share and subscribe to ET Now.